formal report setup, this section is a big deal. For this class, you're going to be writing a formal report. I'll expect to see exactly what I have here in your document as well. But not only that, this is nothing more than preparation for you to go out into the business world and be highly successful in the process. You always have a thing called the front matter. And the front matter could be a whole series of stuff, but normally the minimum is there's a cover and a title page. On a formal report, you have a cover, and then you have a title page that goes into more detail about that. Ideally, you have some type of nice professional binder. If you're submitting to a computer, if you want to sit down and put a letterhead format on there, that really helps. Balance the following parts on the title page. Name of the report in all caps, receiver's name, title, the author's name, and the date submitted. And it seems like it might be redundant, but it really does help make your paper outstanding in the process. Sometimes on a formal report, you also include a memo of transmittal. Announce the topic, explain who authorized it, describe the process, highlight the findings, conclusions, and then close with appreciation for the assignment or the action. This will be needed in our class at all, but if you're going to submit a formal report, especially one that's going to accompany a bid or a quote for a job, this is a major issue to make sure you have that on there. On the larger ones, a table of contents, a list of illustrations. Sometimes the list of illustrations, it really sounds trivial, but it isn't, because people like to look at pictures. And if you're going to have pictures, they may flip through your report looking at the pictures rather than reading the narrative. Hey, whatever it takes to get them to look at your report, life is good. So make sure you have those kind of things. Place the list on the same page with the table of contents if they're both small in the process. You don't want to just beef up your package just because. You want it to be meaningful to people looking at it. Executive summary, I hate to tell you this, but it's true because I've done it. A lot of times you prepare a 40-page report and nobody reads it. You have to have it all there, but they read the executive summary. I've been in meetings and I'm sitting here, my mind is totally burned out. It's 8:30 at night. You just heard 4 different presentations. People come, suits, ties, they have the whole thing and they give their big pitch. They got their posters there and you're really blurry-eyed and you're in the spin and everything else. And you read the stuff and it's a matter of, okay, because we all sit down and we read the executive summary. That's why it's there for. And for those of us that take time out the next day and we read the whole thing, okay, that really helps an awful lot. But we really make a lot of decisions based upon that. So this is a big document. You have to have hooks. Have a hook at the beginning, have a hook at the end, and one in the middle that will help you an awful lot. Put in strategic words and sentences because you know that that's going to be what people are looking at. Use it to fill in your outline right there. The purpose of this report is boom. On the introduction, you'll have a lot of reading of your introduction, so talk about events. So make this an interesting part of your front matter, clarify the scope, identify a commission to report, and that way anybody that picks it up will sit down and look at it. I've had cases where somebody submits a report and I hand it off to somebody else. What's this? I'll just read the intro, and the intro is really well written. Sometimes if they read it and the intro is not well written, well, what is this about again? You have to state the problem clearly, right across, right up front. That's all the front matter. Now let's talk about the body. In the body, present the findings or a solution to the problem, discuss, analyze it, interpret the findings into logical segments, beat it up, make certain that they understand that you know what you're talking about. Use clear descriptive headings. That really helps an awful lot, and it guides them through, it draws them through the report as it comes through, and explain what the findings mean in relation to the report, and then draw conclusions based on the findings. Findings first, and then conclusions. They should be separate components in the report, and then strive for some type of ethical recommendation at the very end. Have lists that helps with the recommendations, especially if they want them. And then your back matter, that part, you have your front matter, the body, and then you have your appendix. You want to sit down and include different materials that are not relevant to all the readers. And because some people really sit down, they pay attention to that. I was in a board meeting one time, and I had a board of trustee member ask the person next to me, fortunately not me, okay, because it was 9:30 at night and I was bleary-eyed at that moment myself. And he says, you know what? I noticed on page 117, and so all of a sudden he sits up and he looks around and says, you know what? Let me go back and look, and I'll get back to you. because he didn't write page 117, somebody else did, and he just passed it on to his material. Yes, so he did go back and check it out and everything else, and it was fine. Fortunately, he had a good history of actually being right on and accurate, and that's why the board member let it go. But the fact that he didn't know about what page 117, and even after reading it, he still didn't understand it himself. Okay, he had to go back and make sure he understood it before he called that board member back. That's the power of an appendix. You put things back there that somebody's going to read. If you have a report out there, there's going to be that one person that reads the entire thing cover to cover. And if they may test you to find out if you really know what's going on. You may want to also include a reference sheet. I prefer that in our classes, whichever style, and always have the bibliography really helps an awful lot. And then final writing tips, make certain you allow enough time to do a good job and to edit, edit, edit. Work from an outline, plan your stuff ahead of time. On big projects, I prefer 4x6 cards. I write down the different topics, I put them on the glass door, and I tape them on there, and I look at it, and I look at it, and they may want to add another card over here, a card over here, or shift something around in the process. That really helps in the aspect of creating an outline. Have a writing environment. You can have the flexibility and be undisturbed when you're doing it. And my preference, I write rapidly. Okay, it depends on you, but I put typos up and everything else, and then I go back and I check afterwards. Some people can't handle that, and I understand that. But for me, I want to get stuff down, and then I go back and I organize it. That really helps me because I revise later because I go back over it. You may want to always keep your stuff pristine as you go through and highly organized. Sometimes you sit down and write the easy stuff before you write the hard stuff. That'll give your head primed to go through in the process. One problem I've always struggled with, and I really got over it the last couple of years, is verb tenses. I would get past tense and present tense in there, and here I'm a college professor. Oh my gosh, if you struggle with that as well, have somebody else read it to you as well. Okay, so you want to make sure you have the same tense as you go through. You want to, on a report, try to avoid I and we. It may sound good, but it really doesn't work out very well. People don't like to read the word I nonstop or we. Okay, let the first draft sit at least overnight, sometimes 2 or 3 days. That helps an awful lot. It's incredible how you come in and your brain works while you're sleeping, and you come in and fix a couple things really fast, and then revise, revise, revise at least 3 times as you go through. So your formal report, a cover page, title page, table of contents, executive summary, front matter, introduction, body, conclusions, recommendations, and your appendix. These are the elements pretty much you're going to find in all formal reports. I look forward to seeing them in your reports as well. Take care.